Yeah.
I love my HBCU, and boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU, and man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one.
Yeah, man.
I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. Mike Washington is still on assignment, but we have AD Drew. We have a little extended show for you today as we get into the SWAC tournament. We wanted to give you a special guest to go into that, talk about the regular season a little bit. Finish up on some poll rankings. Finals are in for softball, mid-major and major, as well as mid-major baseball poll rankings are in. So we'll give that today. We plan to try to get you a show on Thursday, but we'll be traveling down there to see day 2. So we'll play that by ear to let you know how that goes in terms of get you in. If not, we'll try to get you one in before the end of the week. As we close out the athletic year in a lot of ways for 2025-2026. It's been magical for a lot of institutions across the board throughout HBCU sports. We'll get a chance to share that a little bit as we get into the summer. You know, we have our rankings for the top 5 ADs. We'll see how that goes as we get a little deeper into things. Before you know it, it'll be time to turn our heads to the football media days. As well as getting into more football talk as it just turns and churns. But before we do that, we're going to do a little bit of the click of the bat in terms of the dirt of the diamonds and see what goes on as we close out some things, as well as some cleats on the tracks as they speed around the track and field competition as well. So welcome to episode 816 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab Radio Show, the podcast, the show that's covering the sporting HBCU dash for all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small. From the NAIA to the NCAA, we share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture, HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. In short, we just call it HBCU sports pedagogy. I'm your host, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, along with my co-host today, which is Charles Bishop and AD Drew. We're filming from our home studios and sending a signal live to KCOH 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer, multi-Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper, in a beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. As I told a lot of the folks, we do have graduates getting it done, and that is high schools around the corner. So shout out to Charles. Not too long ago, his older daughter had graduated from college, but now he is also celebrating the youngest daughter graduating from high school and prepared to travel to college herself. Shout out to Ralph Cooper that we just announced as his daughter graduated in a master's program, and we told you celebrations for Mike as his youngest son has graduated from college with a tournament championship in NCAA Division II lacrosse playoff experience. Boy, I tell you, what a time by all those HBCU graduates out there. We salute you, whether it's at the undergraduate or graduate level. With that, bring everybody on the stage so we can get into it and see what's going on in the HBCU world. A lot of things. Charles says he's been accosted by Jimmy out there. I'll call him out by name, asking you what's going on with JSU folks. And you said, hey, it might just be a Tuesday.
Normal Tuesday.
I love that, Charles. He said, hey, man, what's new? What you would do?
I know.
But regardless of that, we'll keep it going and keep it rolling. So starting with you, Charles, since that's on the news, what's on your mind? What's out there in HBCU landscape that has you excited or intrigued?
Oh, no doubt about it. As Jackson State, they claim the SWAC Commissioner's Cup as the Jackson State Tigers claim the top spot in the final 25-26 SWAC Commissioner's Cup standings with 152 total points, edging the Alabama State Hornets, who finished second overall with 149 points. Of course, the Dr. James Frank Commissioner's Cup Awards annually recognizes the league institution that posts the strongest overall athletic performances across conference-sponsored sports throughout the academic year. And Jackson State's championship run was fueled by strong performances across men's and women's sports. The Tigers finished second in the men's standings with 69 points, while placing second in the women's rankings with 83 points. So kudos to Jackson State completing a successful athletic calendar year, winning the Commissioner's Cup.
Yeah, shout out to I love Jackson State. It kind of surprised me a little bit when you look close and it was all sports in terms of the Commissioner Cup, because you've seen Jackson State, it seems, over the last couple of years winning it, but it was in either men's or in women's, and this is the first time in a while, which kind of surprised me that they did the overall. So congratulations about putting the pieces together. It's always fascinating to see when we look at the overall health of a sports program, for those that also look at some of what we call the bigger branded sports. So again, congratulations to all involved. Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics, Ashley Robinson. He gonna get mad at me. I almost called him Doc back at school. But I don't know if he's ready for that. We can get him there, though. We get him there. But in all seriousness, congratulations to Jackson State University and all those involved in making this happen. I know the fans out there are proud, as they should be. With that being said, AD Drew, let me shift to you and see what's on your mind with a little bit of the HBCU news that has you thinking twice.
Just quick comment. It is interesting with Jackson State taking second in both on both sides, the men and the women, when it comes to the Commissioner's Cup standings. And then that just shows the overall health of the program and the consistency of it. No, they did not win either side, but they did well enough. And unlike some other conferences, they actually give out 3 cups, where some other conferences just give out a men's cup or a women's cup in the SWAC. But my news of the day, Dr. Cavil, and you kind of mentioned it in your opening monologue. For some reason, people don't think I promote the SIAC enough, Dr. Cavil.
What?
What?
I have to tell y'all the backstory behind off stage, but it kind of offended me. So I just want to make sure that every opportunity that I get from now on, I am going to promote the SIAC to the point where y'all gonna be like, y'all thought that meme Steve put out about me last year about me getting my bread buttered was interesting. Nah, y'all gonna think I'm getting my palms greased by the time I get done with all this. Anyway,
no problem. Especially if somebody bring it up, I think it's a smart thing to do. Go ahead.
All right. Being intentional about my news story, the SIAC, that's the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, will kick off the 2026 season with a return to Macon for SIAC Football Media Day on Wednesday, July 22nd. Coaches and student athletes from the league's 13 football programs will open the 2-day event with the SIAC Community Service and Outreach Day on Tuesday, July 22nd. SIAC Media Day will follow on Tuesday, July 21st. And SIAC Media Day will follow on Wednesday, July 22nd. So just wanted to get that out. We've got our second official media day that has been announced. CIAA, BAC, you're on deck.
Yeah, if they have concerns that you don't share enough of the SIEC, I sure hate what they have to say about me. I know they just have me in the pits. But shifting back to you, Charles, what else is on your mind?
I think this is really interesting. This story comes to us from HBCU Game Day, but NAACP now targeting college athletics over voting rights. And we take a look at it in a move that could impact HBCU athletic recruiting. The NAACP is calling on Black athletes, recruits, families, and fans to withhold athletic and financial support from major public universities in states it says are weakening Black voting representation. So that's going to be very interesting to kind of take a look at. Currently efforting with NAACP President Derek Johnson to get him to come on and talk about it a little bit. But this is going to be a very interesting look-see going forward.
Yeah, I agree. You've heard also the Congressional Black Caucus also stand out. I mean, you have more folks calling for athletes and their parents to really consider the institutions, whether that is going to HBCUs or going to other institutions that are not gerrymandering Black political individuals outside the voting component of a Southern district. So yes, I think this will be something fascinating to watch. It'll be fascinating in terms of the news cycle, in terms of how much news this gets. We have now learned that many of the news cycles are in positions where they're not covering this kind of stuff. So that's going to be another perspective that's going to be interesting to see what that looks out. In some ways, it's also in contradiction of what the HBCU for us we're looking for in terms of the potential legislation. So it's a lot of competing narratives. So it'll be up upon us to make sure that we continue to review and focus to see what's taking place and how it moves forward, particularly for HBCUs, since that's what we cover. 80 Drew, what are your thoughts in terms of what else is in the news that has you thinking twice?
Quick 2 cents on that, and it's going to be very quick. There's a whole podcast or two out there on this subject because my feelings on that subject that Charles just raised cannot be covered in this little in the 30 seconds or a minute that I am
Yeah,
trying
opening.
to get in here. You know that, and maybe we should put something together, Dr. Cavil, to get out to the people. You know, we between us all, we know a mass of people who would be bring some interesting points on that subject. But I want to talk about it. This is not SIAC news, everybody. But I do want to pull out my inner Cuba Good Jr. and show me the money. HBCUs will get paid a collective $6.9 million to play against FBS opponents in 2026. And this comes from HBCU Sports. Obviously, the guarantee game, the paycheck game, the beatdown game, whatever you want to use, it's still out there. 15 matchups between Division One HBCUs and FBS opponents will generate just shy of $7 million. Florida A&M is at the top of that list with $740,000 with this trip to Miami. Uh, Morgan State heads west to play Arizona State, and Tennessee State faces Georgia. Those are 600K checks. Uh, let's see. Arkansas Pine Bluff travels north to Missouri for 550. And let's see, Howard will make. Oh, now Howard is really getting a payday. They will make 525 to go to Indiana and another 475 to go to Rutgers. bringing in a cool $1 billion between those two games. Maybe that's why they can afford to bring Morehouse to DC this year instead of us playing at a neutral site. Anyway, Hampton 475 at Maryland, Delaware State 475 at South Florida, North Carolina Central gets 425 at Norfolk State, and their combined games. Excuse me, Central gets 425 at East Carolina. Norfolk State gets a combined 720 between Virginia and Old Dominion. And it goes on down. You can see some of these games up here, but those are some of the big games and the big money earners out there.
Yeah, I guess one thing to think about and look at is that this is a mix when you look at those between what they now refer to as the G6 as well as the Power 4, Autonomous 4. So you have some that are higher at the 700K mark, while some of them are lower at the 200K mark. The average of that cost, if you would, is like 463 if you look at it between the 15 institutions. So it'd be interesting to see who's above it, who's below it. It probably would be intriguing to look at a deeper dive and look at it between, the power, what I refer to really the Super 2 conferences, the SEC and the Big Ten versus the Power 2, as I refer to them now, which is ACC and the Big 12 and then the G6, to get a better understanding of what is the average average payday that is provided for institutions, not just based on FBS, but how does it look when you really augment it and look at the data in a different level when you go a little deeper into it. Charles?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last part, Dr. Bill.
I was just saying, I thought you had a question there, but I was finishing the thought and say it'll be a little interesting if you look at it in terms of the analysis. If you kind of go in, disaggregate that data to get a more framework of the picture of what that payday, because I know some people will say, hey, one is really low and one is high. I'm not sure if people really take that deep of dive when you start looking at where the conference is sitting in terms of even the FBS level. Go ahead, Drew.
I'm just curious. This article does not bring this out, but I wonder if any of this money from these paycheck games are going back into any type of NIL fund.
That's a really good question too.
Yeah.
Is any of that money? We've heard some ADs. We certainly have some people out there talk about that, but does that start? Is that just basketball money? Is it football money? How is that looking moving forward? And not only NIL, I think even a final point, NIL would be the greatest level that you would do it at. But what about whether if that money is even going back to athletics?
Yeah,
because wondering if is it funding softball, is it funding track, is it funding tennis, golf, soccer, which you assume that some of it is going there, but like you say, Dr. Cavil, it could be used to pay off that quote unquote athletic credit card that you get come July 1st, October 1, whatever your budget cycle starts at your particular institution.
Right. And so that's why I really get intrigued about these numbers, because if you're not careful, you'd be like, oh, that's a great deal of money, and it certainly is. But then the question becomes, where is that money really allocated? Yeah, how is it allocated could tell you even more story, particularly when you're looking at your institution. There's certain expectations you may have. I think that becomes a big question mark when you look at it like that. So great.
Or going to facilities.
Yeah, exactly. Are you updating facilities?
Yeah, we saw what Tuskegee did a couple of years ago, although it's on D2 to FCS level, but that's how they funded the lights at the football stadium. That's how they funded the lights on the tennis court and softball field and everything like that. And the locker room improvements at Abbott Stadium were through those type of games on their level.
I really like that reinvestment, particularly back into the program. We've seen that covering Texas Southern University over the years. when Dr. Charles McCullen was the VP of athletics at Texas Southern. He was one of the first that I saw do it at that level. And then obviously Granger working under him and then taking over as the VP of intercollegiate athletics at Texas Southern. He followed that path. And so you saw a lot of investments. A lot of the teams would come in there specific for basketball, and they talk about what they did to the locker rooms over there, and they were one of the better ones in the league. And you saw other schools started mimicking that in terms of some of the game guarantees would go to invest in that. They also had budget that went back that really allowed them, when they traveled and stayed in hotels, that they would stay in, 3-4 star, in some cases even 5-star hotels. And it was a way to reinvest in terms of what type of recruits they would have and the student athletic experience. So we saw a lot of that, coaches' offices that helped with recruiting. So I like the idea of investing back in the facilities as you are playing these games. But then you have some institution, it's just the cost of business where it goes back, like you said, almost the framework of a credit card, where the institution is providing resources to the athletic program early on. And then as they get these game guarantees, they go back to balance that budget. And so that is different at institution to institution. And so for those fans that look at it, those are some questions that if you are seeking information that you need to ask your AD or VP of athletics, CFO. Sometimes they're in charge of that, or your president and chancellors in terms of what is the operational framework of that. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll get into it. We were going to have Coach Hernandez, but they do a coaches meeting before the tournament and before they get into their banquet, and they started late, so we'll talk about the coaches a little bit. So he's going to try to tag it, so we see if we can get him in or not. But that was one of the reasons we tried to start early, is to fit him in, but that looks like that has changed already. So we'll come back on the other side, and we'll squeeze in the mid-major softball, give you an update there, and then we'll kind of pivot and go from there. I did want to give a shout-out to Howard. Closes out historic weekend with their fifth straight MEAC championship, as they got it done in women's outdoor track and field. A lot of kudos goes to Howard. They're on, you talking about the Mecca, they're on a high right now. With those teams leaving the conference, somebody had to take advantage of it. And right now, Howard in so many ways has really taken advantage of it. And at the end of the day, when they look at the championship, they don't ask you when, how many, all that. They look at the fact of that you got the championship and associated with the MEAC. It is in the record book, so credit to them. We'll take our first break and come back on the other side and see if we can get into some more HBCU sports talk.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a state.
On camera.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear an HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131. Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisine.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gonna teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Let's get into our mid-major softball week 10. This is the final poll ranking, so we'll see who is crowned our HBCU mid-major division softball champion for 2025-2026. Nobody dropped out this week, and so let's see where receiving votes. You really won't see any updates here on the receiving votes. We've seen this before with Edward Waters Tigers. They stay right there ahead of Stillman Tigers outside of the top 5. Great season, but could not quite sneak in the top 5. It was a chore for a lot of teams that had great seasons. So kudos to these top 5 softball mid-major division programs on a great season, but somebody has to be number 1, and let's see. At number 5, you have Savannah State Tigers. Finish up their season, their campaign at 27-18, 15-9, 35 points, and they finish our poll rankings in the 5th position. At number 4, you have the Claflin Tigers with a tremendous season out of CIAA, 25-12, 11-1. They did get the NCAA Division II bid, 37 points, and finished the season in that 4th position as they were 4th last week. At number 3, you have Albany State Golden Rams, 34-11, 41 points. They stay in the 3rd position. They're one of our 3 teams. They got to 2 teams. They got to 30 wins. Really, with a fascinating season. Credit to the Golden Rams. That's a lot of wins on a season. At number 2, you have Tuskegee Golden Tigers, also out of the SIAC, 34-9, 21-1. 2 first-place votes, 60. They hold the spot, so that means you know who's number 1. Dillard, the Blue Devils, 27-16, having a tremendous season. Did not quite get to 30 wins, but they won their division. They won the tournament and got into the NAIA tournament. 5 first-place votes as they hold it down with 67 points, and they remain the number 1 and close out the 2025-2026 as the mid-major division champion for 2026. Shout out to HBCUAC and the Dillard Blue Devils for earning our rankings. But now it's time to see what Charles Bishop says about our final poll ranking for 2026 mid-major division softball.
34 wins is a lot of wins. Just taking a look at Tuskegee at Albany State.
They just didn't get them last couple ones that they needed when they needed them.
Yeah, I guess that's the case.
And you are the ones that say what you do last is important. Now, Charles is excited about 30 some wins. I got him excited speaking of 30 wins.
But it begs the question of that postseason something where you can see where you'd love to see a tournament of champions, or at least this top 5 poll. Something to think about, Dr. Cavil. Something to think about the Dr. Cavil softball tournament of champions. If you finish in the top 5, 6, y'all get together and let's settle it.
Women's Black College World Series.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Softball World Series. There you go.
Yeah.
80 Drew, what are your thoughts of the top 5? I think people are listening to you, man. You must have some credibility out here.
Just not in the SIAC.
Where bread is buttered, but they
gonna
understand that your palms will be greased. I get it.
All right, so let me get my CIAA cred right before I start. Dr. Cavil, and I know this gets kind of hard and confusing for some of the people. There are, I think I counted 13 institutions with either tiger or a color of a tiger as their mascot. But Claflin is not one of them. Claflin are the Panthers. So before we post this online officially, Dr. Cavil, we need to make that correction. Yeah, Claflin is the Panthers. And speaking of Claflin, Dr. Cavil, I gotta move them up to number 3.
Okay.
Gotta reward them for their regular season and their postseason success. Tuskegee rewarded them for their regular season success and the fact that they were ranked at one point in time towards the end of the season. When I mean ranked in some of the regional polls. Dillard, same thing. We're rewarding them with their regular season and postseason success. One thing to note, Dr. Cavil, even when you throw in your 2 receiving votes, everybody had 5 or more victories. So that's a shout out to these programs and the level of dominance that these programs get, because you usually don't see those with your receiving vote teams, Dr. Cavil, that level of success. But other than flip-flopping Claflin and Albany State, I have no problem.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Great pointing out. And I'm glad you pointed out the Claflin Panthers. Bad typo there. But let me give the cigar to Dillard Blue Devils as they've won the national championship.
Congratulations.
This is a nice one now. This is back when the period where it was fine to travel to Cuba directly out of the U.S. We took some students down there. So I still have a container, that really nice container there. Grafted everything you see in there. I know it's a little hard there, but I know it's a challenge right now. And prayers to the people over there in Cuba in terms of what they're enduring. With that being said, any final thoughts in terms of the softball season, Charles, at the mid-major level?
Heck of a season. Kudos goes to Dillard. Tuskegee 21-1 conference. That's phenomenal. But 34 wins. I took a look at that with regards to Tuskegee and Albany State. But I thought across the board, you really saw some great softball being played at the mid-major and major level. So kudos to those programs that are continuing to keep pushing their programs to reach higher and higher. And it's the product looks good out there on the field.
Yeah. Any final thoughts as we bring in Coach Hernandez?
No, I'm going to reserve my time, Dr. Cavil. Let's bring on our guest if we need to, so that because I know his time is valuable there at the with everything that he has going on.
Yeah,
there he is.
He's there. He must be in Birmingham. Look at that smile.
What's going on?
Back-to-back regular season.
Hey, I'm smiling.
Tournament champions. We talking multi-champion head Coach Hernandez. How you doing today, Coach?
Hey, I'm doing good, and don't get it twisted. I have a big smile on my face because I get to spend some time with you three on the air. So let's not get it twisted. But hey, going
Coach,
back
our votes are already in. You don't
okay.
have to do that right now, man.
No, we're good. You guys doing okay?
You have a busy schedule, and you got the banquet to head to just before we get started, how much time do you have so we can make sure that we do not hold you from the other requirements that you have?
I would say maybe like 10, 15 minutes. They're still getting all
That's
the student
perfect.
athletes settled into the banquet hall at the Crossplex here in Birmingham. Beautiful, facility that the SWAC decided to utilize for the banquet today, and I think it's great.
That's perfect. We'll hold you there and we'll get you out of here about 6:15, if you would, 6:12 to make sure you're ready to go. With that being said, let's get right into it. We kind of joked, but all seriousness, it was a lot of work that went into the season. Obviously a senior level team, and it paid off, it seems like it, but it literally went down to the last game in regards to getting it done on the field so you could have that back-to-back championship representing for Bethune-Cookman University. Talk a little bit about what did you say to the team over this last series, particularly going into that last game on Saturday?
I wouldn't want to do it with any other group, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a group that's experienced, and with experience, right, you get leadership. And we told our guys, after that second game loss to Grambling, the next day it was senior day. There was a lot of emotions, but once senior day was over, we had to go in and punch that clock, right? Just keep being the team that we've been all year, and everything will take care of itself. Excuse me. We wanted our guys to have fun and enjoy the moment, right? These things don't happen very often. They're very tough to accomplish and to attain one championship, let alone back-to-back regular season championships. So again, the fact that our guys stayed even keeled and they've bought in all year to the 0-0 opening day mindset. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just be present in your moment. And they accomplished something that hasn't been done in the SWAC for a long time. And it has not been done at our program in a long time as well. So again, kudos to the guys. And I'm just so happy and proud for all of the student athletes that we have in our program, buying into the vision of what we wanted to accomplish and attaining a goal that we set our bar pretty high once they step foot on campus the first day in the fall.
Yes, and they did it in a particular fashion where the last 2 years, the SWAC has went to a full schedule instead of divisions. Obviously, prior to Alabama A&M and UAPB coming into the conference, you had 8 schools and you had the one division for a while. There was previous, for those that are history buffs, we want to make sure that even as you go further back, even with 8 teams and less, there were some divisional formats in the former years, as I talk about the SWAC. But to do that, I think takes it to a different level when you think about 12 quality programs that you have to navigate. Obviously, you do play the 30 games, so some teams you do not face necessarily, but still a gauntlet, and where you're literally flying from your home to southwest, southeast, all over the conference to get that done, whether it's driving or flying. That's a lot of good baseball being played, so kudos for that. Drew,
Yep.
let me let you jump in and ask the question.
First of all, Coach, congratulations once again on the championship. It's hard to win. It's even harder to repeat as somebody who is coached at this level. So, Coach, I want let's compare the two, just the regular seasons that you had from last year, where you pretty much cruised through last year and dominated the SWAC last year. This year, you had a few more bumps in the road with the season, but you had a lot more non-conference success this year than you had last year. So compare the two regular season journeys from last year's regular season journey and this year's regular season journey, and the way you feel going into the tournament this year, comparing that to last year.
That's a great question, AD, and you're absolutely correct, right? Both championships and both journeys are completely different, right? The guys are a year older. I think the difference last year, it seemed like we cruised, right, with a ton of sweeps. The one thing this year, it's we won a series, right? And we had one game in the series that whether it was lose Friday, bounce back Saturday, Sunday, whether it was win Friday, win Saturday, and we couldn't complete the sweep on Sunday. The fact that our guys were able to bounce back after Friday night losses that we had this past year. I think it speaks volume of the character, of the mental toughness of the group that we do have, and the understanding that they're able to respond when adversity hits. I think that that's crucial as we head into SWAC conference play because, again, if you look at the SWAC, I think the last 4 or 5 spots, if I'm not mistaken, were separated only by just a few games. So I think as well as we got everybody ready to go, and we're looking forward to a great tournament coming up, this week in Birmingham. So the both journeys are different, but I think that this one, it really tested the mental toughness of our group throughout the course of the year, which lend themselves to, having success this year, in my opinion.
Good stuff. Charles, your question.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted to ask a similar question in a different manner, but just the fact that you've been battle tested, how special is this group in terms of, especially you kind of kept the crux or the core from last year coming into this season, targets on your back, but you guys came through it again.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we were talked about first day when we reported in the fall that we were going to have a big bullseye on our back. And pressure is a privilege. We've earned that right to have everybody gunning for us. But if we are able to do what we need to do, stay healthy, knock out the weight room, finish every rep in practice, not taking a day off, because the day that we decide to take a day off is a day that another program can possibly creep up on us. And we did not want that to happen. So it's special. And again, the core that came back, they had opportunities to go elsewhere, right? In the landscape that we, that we're in with the portal. And I think that speaks to the authentic relationships that we have as coaches with our student athletes. And I think it talks about the culture of our baseball program here at Bethune-Cookman. So again, I'm so fortunate to be able to lead such a prestigious baseball program, being able to lead exceptional young men and to work alongside the conference best assistant coaches that I can put up any coaching staff in the country as well with.
Good stuff. I got to hear the post-game championship, and I just wanted to praise you for the words you used. But you shared a similar thought in terms of this current day with the transfer portal, the players in terms of how well they played last year. Many of them could have had the opportunity to go somewhere else, and they chose to stay at Bethune-Cookman. I think that says a lot for you. So I wanted to praise you on that. Last question we have before we let you out of there is just your thoughts in terms of the tournament. You've had several years of experience of the tournament. You got to the final game and didn't go as well. And then last year, you checked that box off. What have you learned about the tournament difference? I call it kind of the sprint versus the marathon of the regular season. What have you learned to try to get the most out of the tournament season?
You guys, I got to get out because they're about to give out the regular season trophy. My assistant just called me asking where I was. So I will jump right back on once we're done.
No problem. Go ahead.
Right.
In fact, stay on until you walk in there. We want to see a little bit of how it looks. Oh man, that was pretty good.
Or whatnot, but I'll get right back on.
Yeah, no problem. We just want to see what it look like. That was good stuff. Good stuff.
All right, later.
Thanks.
All right,
nothing like live interviews.
Right, exactly.
All sports. You talking about, hey man, I got my coach texting me. That's why it went black. I should have.
I figured he was getting a phone call.
Get your tail in here, coach.
Oh, no. The commissioner is on the phone.
Where is he at? Yeah. Hey, man, I was giving an interview with Dr. Cavil. Then we'll be on the other list.
I know, right?
Good stuff. Before we take the next break, let me go ahead and let y'all get some final thoughts in terms of just navigating that space. We followed this for a long time, whether it's AD with the MEAC, now with the SIC, Charles, the SWAC, but covering all HBCU sports, particularly baseball, just about what that means to win back-to-back, getting it done last year during the regular season and the tournament, the combination of the two. Those things are really hard to do. What made you appreciate the Bethune-Cookman team of last year and then this year now that they've done at least the regular season back-to-back?
I think we talk about it quite a bit, the parity that's in this league. And to have that target on your back week in, week out, and to come through and beat expectations, that speaks a lot. Whether we're talking about football, basketball, baseball, whatever the case might be, that's something special, especially in today's college sports environment where, you could be bringing in a different team year in, year out to keep the core of those players from the championship team last year to beat expectations and be back in position again. That's very special, and I think we will appreciate it even more as the years go by to repeat. This is something that doesn't happen very easily.
Yeah, that's a good point. Great comments, Charles, bringing it on to everybody. I think that resonates with a lot of our fans that have followed HBCU baseball, particularly the SWAC baseball. They understand the challenge of getting it done and having that special type of season. AD Drew, your thoughts on that?
Look, I've been a part of some championship teams, both as a coach and as an administrator. To win the regular season in any sport is tough. To win the postseason tournament it's not tough. It's more hard than tough. But it also takes a little bit of luck to win the postseason tournament. For you to have both of those in the same year, regular season and postseason in the same year, it is a special thing. For you to go back to back postseason, regular season, that's an accomplishment. It shows to the discipline and the culture and the program that a particular institution has. Because going back to back in a regular season, it's about culture. Because you're not going to have the same exact team. So you're gonna lose people to natural matriculation with graduation. You're gonna lose people to the portal. You're gonna bring in freshmen. You're gonna bring in JUCOs. So those people who were on last year's team and on this year's team, for them to be able and to be those leaders and decide, no, this is how we do it at our institution. In this particular case, BCU. This is how we do it. We don't show up late. We do this. We do that. This is how we stretch. These are our chants. All those type of things. And it should Bethune win this again. Ooh. And especially if we get a Bethune FAMU matchup, because they are in different brackets once again. This would be the third time in 4 years that you could have the two Florida schools.
That's another,
facing each other.
Oh, the shift happened. It absolutely happened. Yeah.
He said whether they are there or not, he said that would just be the final point. But Charles says shift has already happened. Great point. Let's take our next break. Shout out to Emmett Jones. You're right. Consistency in your program. That is exactly what it shows. We'll take our next break and come back on the other side. We'll do the final major division for the softball poll rankings as well.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
Swag.
Press the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Let's go ahead and get into it and get to the major division. See if there's any surprise. We did have higher scoring runs in the tournament while FAMU did not. Did that change any people's mind? We'll see in terms of the top 5. RPI rank goes slightly to FAMU. They did split the head-to-head, so no discernible there. As you see, nobody dropped out. You do see receiving votes was Jackson State Tigers, finishing the season at 25-23. Norfolk State Spartans with a winning season at 22-21. Delaware State Hornets also with the winning season, 28-18. South Carolina State Bulldogs sit at 23-20. So everybody in terms of receiving votes all finished with at least a winning season. So imagine what you get in the top 5. We had some record-breaking seasons in terms of wins. Looking at Texas Southern, that eclipsed the 30-win mark. The Texas Southern Tigers got the 30-12, 17-6, one of their deepest runs in the SWAC tournament in the last couple of years, but they stay in 5 with 71 points, just letting you know how tough it is in terms of the top 5 rankings, with many of these teams coming out of the SWAC. Bringing us to number 4, another team in the SWAC, the rival to Texas Southern, Prairie View A&M Panthers, sit at 27-19, 19-4, squeezing off the 4th consecutive regular season division championships, 74 points, and they remain in the 4th position. At number 3, we have Southern Jaguars. They finished behind Prairie View, but swept them at the end of the season after Prairie View swept them at the early part of the season. Southern Jaguars were one of the hottest teams out there. Great RPIs, strength of schedule ranking, 37-15, 18-6, 79 points. But they stayed in the 3rd position. They got to a SWAC championship game and actually forced a elimination winner-take-all game against FAMU. Southern Jaguars were right there, but could not quite knock it down. But they end the season with the most wins from all of our Division I HBCU programs with 37. At number 2, Howard Bison, 29-19, 18-3. 4 first-place votes, 84 points. They stay in the 2 spot, so could not climb enough to knock off number 1, but they certainly had a great season in terms of representing the MEAC and getting into the NCAA tournament. Meaning, number 1 ranked team getting it done is Florida A&M Rattlers, 32-22, 19-5, regular season division champions, getting it done in the tournament. FAMU getting over the hill, if you would, 6 first-place votes, 86 points, and taking home a tournament championship. FAMU is the 2025-2026 earned the major division championship, if you would, in terms of the rankings. I'm going to start with you, AD Drew. What are your thoughts in terms of the Rattlers being number 1 for the final week in the HBCU major division softball poll ranking?
It shows that either the people who voted in this poll do not believe in recency bias, A, B, do not hold what happens in the NCAA tournament against you with their final ranking, or C, just wasn't paying attention to whatever happened this weekend in the NCAA tournament. Because if that was your motto, then you would put Howard ahead of Florida A&M because Howard had a slightly better showing. Although they both were two in barbecue, Howard had a little bit more sauce on their meat this weekend than FAMU, who did not
Once
season
you
their
lost
meat.
Marshall, you're right.
Yes,
Had to leave.
Yeah.
FAMU did not season their meat this weekend. So kudos to the
Give a
voters
little
for
plug
taking
to
the
tenderism.
say that again, Dr. Camille.
Did he give a little plug to tenderism? I like it. Nice way to do that, AD Drew.
There you go. Shout out to the posters who look at the entirety of the season. And let's be real, we were splitting hairs between Florida A&M and Howard because one vote being flipped has these two tied. If I'm doing the math right, Dr. Cavill, you tell me
Yeah,
how
you
your
right.
point system goes.
That's it. Yep.
So Southern number 3, once again undefeated at home. Tough to argue that. Uh Prairie View, great regular season. Texas Southern, 30 wins in 42 games, Dr. Cavill. That's astonishing. They played
Yeah.
amount of games and still got the 30 of everybody on your
That's
top 5.
impressive. You're right.
So go ahead.
Charles, good stuff, AD Drew. Charles, your thought. Look like you wavering a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if we're splitting hairs, I mean, AD touched on it. I mean,
Go ahead and
Howard,
split the head.
Howard had the better showing in the tournament, in the NCAA tournament. And I was just curious as to if that was going to be enough, to overcome Florida A&M. First and foremost, kudos to Florida A&M for ending up in the top spot. But I was teeter-tottering on that one. I really kind of had to take a look and kind of ask the question, just from a conference perspective, from a perspective of the opponents that they played, who had the tougher schedule.
I'll take that one for 300, Charles.
I served it up to you.
Well, actually, Howard's conference schedule was tougher than FAMU's conference schedule if you go by RPI, with Prairie View having the toughest RPI conference wise. If you break them up into 6, 6, and 6.
Yep.
Well, I think it's actually 7 in the I think it's 7 BAC teams that plays in softball. But irregardless, the BAC was rated number 2, with the SWAC East rated number 3 and the SWAC West rated number 1 when you looked at RPI.
Good call. Conference wise, team wise, obviously I'd say a little bit strength of schedule FAMU in terms of overall schedule. But it depends on where you're looking at the rankings. And then you talk about Florida in that region. It's a tough region.
Yeah.
Now, FAMU did win the out of conference. When you looked at the out of conference RPI, FAMU had a much better out of conference RPI than Howard did.
Exactly. That's the one I was talking about when you look at that overall. So good point. Let's take another break here. We'll come back on the other side. We're going to go ahead and give you baseball. Mid-major baseball, as their stuff is complete. We'll close that all on that in our next segment. Then we'll talk a little bit about some SWAC baseball in our last segment. We'll be right back after this next break.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
and we have to fund our kids in these colleges, and we have to make sure our kids have seats in these colleges.
Now, what about HBCUs? You mentioned.
Absolutely. You got to fund them all, and you got to make sure they're properly funded. You know, the real reason why I went after Comcast and Charter, it didn't have anything to do with my cable networks. It didn't. What happened was a gentleman wanted to do the Black College Sports Network in partnership with the HBCUs. And Comcast did not accept it. And that would have made a lot of money for these black colleges.
Absolutely.
And it would have educated the Black College Sports Network. This is what he wanted to do. That would have educated a lot of black kids. And when they didn't do that, that's when I came off the bench and said, okay, I'm going to light you up like a Christmas tree. Okay? That was the real reason why I got into it, was when I saw what happened with the Black College Sports Network, which I don't own. I just knew.
Why didn't you buy it?
I just knew. I just knew that these black.
I like that talk.
Right? I knew that these black colleges were going to benefit, and these black kids were going to get the education that they deserved and not have to pay.
There's a shot. The right. Might be. It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. All you guys at BCSN, we really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Let's get back into it and give our mid-major top 5 matchups. Let's bring it up so we can get that going. No one dropping out this week, as you see. Let's look at those receiving votes. Those 3 remain Benedict Tigers, Morehouse Maroon Tigers, Stillman Tigers. Still needed to update with 25 wins. Want to make sure we give Morehouse credit in terms of one of their best seasons of late. Talking about Howard and the run they have, some of the private schools are making some statements in terms of some of the best seasons they've had over some period. Credit to both institutions, specifically Morehouse Maroon Tigers in baseball this season. Let's look at the top 5 as we would have it. At number 5, you have Savannah State Tigers sitting at 27-20, 23-10, 44 points. They stay in that 5 position from last week to close out things in terms of 32 points. Let's bring in number 4 in terms of the top 5 here as we continue to move through here. We have Albany State Golden Round sitting at 31-18, 27-6, 40 points. Previous ranked 4, so they stay in that spot. Going for number 3, Houston Tillerson Rams, 33-18, 18-3, 44 points here, if you would. They were previous ranked 3, so they stay in that position. We get a change here at number 2. Talladega Tornadoes fall this week, 33-19, 19-2, 3 first place votes. Somebody switched. AD talked somebody into switching from last weekend. It was amazing. It happened. 60 points, very close in terms of what that looks like. They were previously number 1, but number 1 goes to Everwater Tigers out of the SIAC. 33 wins, 21 losses, 24-9. They gained that first place vote, which pushed them over the top with 61 points. Previous ranked 2, but they close out the season where you want to be, which is number 1 and earn the 2025-2026 Mid-Major Division Baseball Poll Ranking Championship in the final week. Shout out to the Edgewater Tigers, who've played some really good baseball of late. Much like Talladega, these two teams are always in the running. It goes to Edgewater Tigers. Back to you, Charles. What are your thoughts on the top 5? Something about the mid-majors. You have some changes a little bit. While the SIAC people may not say that they're listening to AD Drew, or he don't talk about SIAC enough, some voters are very intrigued at what you have to say. It would at least seem that way. Charles, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I was curious to see if Edward Waters had a finishing kick that would get over Talladega. So, congratulations, Edward Waters, for that finishing kick. I mean, it was the last 5 steps, but they got him in to take that number 1 spot, and it was a heck of a season. The SIAC champions, and what they were able to do to overcome Talladega. I take my hats off to them. So, congratulations. It was a tremendous season. Both teams, 33 wins on the season, but Edward Waters, like I said, that final kick, getting them in there, good job.
Yeah, 2 regular season division championships. This time a full division championship. I mean, a tournament championship. They got a Black College baseball championship. They've done some tremendous things over the last couple of years of this program. Eddie Drew, break it down. What are your thoughts of Edgewater Tigers? You mentioned this last week that you thought they should be number 1. Tell us why, and what do you think about the final top 5 poll rankings?
Well, I want to thank the voters for somebody listening and respects the opinion of AD Drew out there. My call was heard. My call to action was heard. So thank you for whoever that one voter was who flipped their vote. Shout out to Coach Reginald Johnson down at Edward Waters. Dr. Cavil, you just mentioned the success that they've had since going to Division II, but you failed to mention his success that he had in the on the NAIA level, and they were not members of the GCAC when it came to baseball, because if you remember, the GCAC did not sponsor baseball.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. Sure, right.
It is via the independent route when they were in NAIA school and were very successful as an independent in the NAIA. And maybe it's something about these Florida teams, Dr. Cavil. I mean, you see Benedict doing what they do, coming to the SWAC, and Florida A&M doing what it does, coming to the SWAC, where Edward Waters has done the same thing
You're right.
Division II level in the SIAC since coming over about a year or two after Florida A&M and Benedict came over. So it's something about those Florida teams. Nancy, do you notice a trend, though, Dr. Cavil, of your top 8 you had listed, including the 3 that were receiving votes? 5 of them have the nickname Tigers. 2 of them are Rams. And then you got Talladega messing up the party with the Tornadoes. Come on now, Talladega. He got to change his nickname or something, man. No,
sure.
Seriously, good
stuff. Right, good stuff. Let's take this next break. We'll bring Coach back in on the other side. So we'll take a quick break and bring it right back in.
I'm Cameron Peters, quarterback of the Prairie View A&M 2025-2026 SWAC football championship team.
Here on 2nd and goal, Peters looking for some space, and he runs into the end zone. The first score of the game goes to the Panthers.
As the offensive MVP and champion, when I'm not busy studying or practicing or spending time with my family and friends, I catch up on my sports highlights by watching Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab.
Press the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gonna teach a lesson.
Hey, Coach, welcome back in. Did you get some awards? Did the player get some awards? Tell us some good news. We can't hear you.
Can you hear us, Coach?
No, we
I
can't
hear you, AD.
Okay, mic check.
We hear you.
But I don't hear Dr. Cavil.
Go ahead, Charles. Run with it.
Coach Hernandez, I
You hear
want to
Charles,
ask.
Johnny?
No, I just hear you, AD.
Okay.
Well, AD, you might run with it.
Doctor and Charles wanted to know, you went and got the big trophy. Were there any other awards given out yet that you want to share with us, Coach?
Well, at Bethune-Cookman, we have the Pitcher of the Year, Edwin Sanchez. Okay. We also have the Player of the Year, Jose Fernandez.
Yeah.
Several of our players garnered first team and second team all conference selection awards, rightfully earned by every one of our guys. And then we picked up the 2026 regular. Oh, there, you hear me?
I still hear you.
We can hear you.
I got to exit because now AD, I don't hear you. Let me exit and go right back.
Okay.
I got you.
Man, you got that expensive phone.
I do got one question I got to sneak in for myself, Dr. Cavil. But they deserve all the awards, and when you win your conference, to the victor goes the spoils. Usually.
Yeah, that's a good call when you talk about that. When you look at those players, it's expected for them to do a lot of awards on a tremendous season. We often talk about some of the rankings from those players in terms of what that looks like. But it looks like we got Coach back. Can you hear?
I hear you now, Doc. Yeah, absolutely. I hear you.
Good
Mike,
stuff.
check, can you hear us now?
Now tell them folks down there in Daytona, you don't want some championships. Make sure they get you some good equipment. We don't want no problem. Trying to give all this great pub out to Bethune-Cookman, and they won't give you no equipment.
We're good. We get equipment.
We said it.
Oh man, there you go. Listen, that's again.
How old is that picture, Coach? You had hair.
Hey. Listen, man, that's yeah, man, that's a great accomplishment. But again, right, like I know my name's on the award, but it's the assistant coaches, that I'm so fortunate enough to work alongside. They've done a phenomenal job. It's the student athletes that have bought into the vision of what we wanted for our program to make this possible. It's the support of our leadership in academics and also in athletics to be able to put our student athletes in the best position possible to be able to succeed. And again, and the thing too is the Cat-Eye Network. It's our people in the Cat-Eye Network that are able to share our stories and tell our stories through journalism, through mass comm, through videos, through social media. So it's our strength coach, that works out with all of our guys, is our academic advisor. Again, my name is on the award, yes, but this is a total team award, and it doesn't happen without the support of the people that we have surrounded our program with excellent people.
So, Coach, let me ask
before
you
I let Charles jump in, and I'll let AD do a final question. Name some of those folks, your assistant coaches, at least maybe the strength and condition coach, in terms of go ahead and get their names out there as you gave them platitudes.
Yeah, Coach Derek Cartaya, he's our recruiting coordinator. He's our hitting coach. He works with the infielders as well. He's done a phenomenal job since, he's been with us at Bethune-Cookman the last 3 years. Offensively, we've just taken a whole nother step with him leading the charge with the offense. Coach Joel Sanchez, who's been with me for the last, 4 or 5 years. And that's a guy, you look at our statistics, right? We're at the top of every SWAC category as far as pitching is a concern, and even in the country, and offensively too. We've been just right outside the top 25 as far as offensive statistics, here at our program. Coach Hunter Allen, who works with our catchers, right? And kudos to him. Michael Lucena, first team all-conference catcher. Buster Posey, semifinalist. I mean, again, and Coach Peter Vasquez, who's a graduate assistant, he played for our program, graduated, and now he's achieving his master's degree. And he's done a great job positioning our infielders as far as defensive play with what we want to accomplish. Coach James Whitener, who's our strength coach, he's phenomenal. Again, the people in OSAS, the Office of Student Athlete Services that we have, Mr. Joe Black, who's our academic advisor. He does a really good job just making sure the guys are doing what they need to do on the academic side, managing study hall, managing their academic profile, managing their academic vertical. There's just so much that goes into it, and there's so many people that we've been fortunate enough to be surrounded our players with that. Again, this is an honor. I'm humbled by all the stuff that's happening, but again, it's just very fortunate, for me to be able to lead such a prestigious university and baseball program here at Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, well said. That's why I wanted to make sure you got a chance. We don't always get to shout out those individuals that support us doing the job. So you talked about them, but I wanted to get some name recognition. Charles, go ahead and jump in.
Yeah, and I wanted to pivot and kind of talk about the tournament a little bit. Bracket B, especially. I mean, you obviously will be you're the top seed, but I mean, Grambling, Alabama State, Arkansas Pine Bluff. For just people who don't know, just kind of talk about the strengths of the other teams in your bracket.
Yeah, I mean, all three teams have unique profiles, right? They're all different. It's not obviously the same team, right? I mean, let's go to Grambling because we just played them this past weekend. I mean, their offense can jumpstart in a hurry.
Yeah.
Right. And if you look at, they made Rickwood Field look very small last year with the home runs that they hit. So, again, it's a good team coached by Coach Pierre. They're going to compete, they're going to bring high energy, but their offense can get going in a hurry. You look at Arkansas Pine Bluff, right? They've dealt with, a ton of injuries up and down the entire season. And just the fact that Coach Stout was able to keep that team focused and get them into the tournament. They're led by Kenny Fabian, who I think outside of Edwin Sanchez is one of the, top premier arms in the conference, with several other guys that we do have, but we're just talking about obviously our bracket. And again, like that's a team that's going to be able to do some good things, right? When they're healthy. So it's a unique profile for both of those. And then again, Alabama State, right? I have the utmost respect for Alabama State, Coach Vasquez and Coach Drew Clark. They're both Bethune-Cookman alumni. They both played here, they coached here, and now they've done phenomenal jobs at Alabama State. And that's another one too that, they have the pitching, they play clean defense, and offensively, we saw it on Sunday, right? Against us. It was a back and forth affair, and we ended up dropping that Sunday game 14-11. So I think all three teams are very well coached. All three teams have dynamic players that can impact the baseball on defense and on the mound, and as well offensively. So it's going to be a really good bracket to kind of pay attention to. And we just got to take it one day at a time, and we can't really worry about who's playing who and what's going to happen. We can only worry about ourselves and just be the best versions of ourselves day in and day out.
Appreciate that question there, Charles. AD Drew, I know you want to make sure you get one in here.
Yeah, Coach, when you look at your bracket, 3 of the past 4 SWAC tournament champions are in your bracket, including yourself, with Alabama State winning in 22, Grambling in 24, and of course you guys winning it last year. You just come off the high of getting all these postseason accolades and everything else, and when those young men go back and pick up their phones, IGs are going to be blowing up with the congratulations and all that stuff. But you got to play tomorrow. How do you get these guys grounded and ready to go tomorrow after all the success you've had all season being highlighted by the awards tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's something, I'll let them enjoy tonight. I think that enjoyment is earned for each one of our student athletes. So we'll after every game, we enjoy it, win or loss, right? Once we wake up, that's it, it's over. Right, we buy into the 0-0 mindset that the guys have. It's an opening day mindset. It doesn't matter how good you performed yesterday. All that you're given to is, the present moment in today. And they bought into that, and that's not going to change or waver. The regular season was the marathon. Now, we got to go ahead and compete in the sprint, right, of the tournament coming up. So, again, I think our guys, they understand, what's at stake, and we just got to take it one day at a time. And I told them today at practice, as far as tomorrow is a concern, don't play 1 9-inning game, but let's play 9 1-inning games, if that makes sense. So play a game every inning, right? Don't worry about, the 5th, 6th, worry about the inning that we're in right now presently. And as long as, we play together and, we're tough-minded and we're disciplined in what we want to do, then good things will happen. So again, there's just so much that I want them to enjoy, because again, these things you can never take for granted, because you don't know when they're going to happen, right? If any, if it does happen again. So I want them to enjoy it. But as soon as we wake up tomorrow for team breakfast at 8:15, our focus is on Arkansas Pine Bluff with a 6 o'clock start.
Yeah. Quick follow up, Coach. Totally off that subject. What day you wearing your powder blues? Because I'm a fan of the Bethune-Cookman in their powder blues.
You just have to come and watch the tournament and you'll find out.
I love it. Well, I know we will be there.
That was that was a little wild. That was a little wildcat rattler, you know.
Yeah,
a little jab.
But I am a fan. I love the powder blue uniform. Seriously,
with
all concerns. It's just something about that era.
And I gotta say it because a lot of people have wondered why we wear the powder blues. I think it's important for people to understand it's not just a fashion trend that we're doing. The reason why we wear the powder blues is to promote awareness in childhood autism. That's why we wear them, right? We wear them also for men over 40. Make sure to get checked for prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And also keeping dads in the game of baseball. Because I think that if we're able to do that, then our children are going to be able to love the game that we all appreciate, right? And want our people to hang around with. So that's the reason why we made the decision to go with the powder blues. I brought it up to the administration. They love the idea. There is a web page in our BCU Athletics website. It's called Why BCU Blue. And people now can understand why we wear the powder blues. Again, it's not just a fashion trend. Yes, the uniforms are great, but there's a reason behind us wearing the powder blues in honor of those, right, who suffer from childhood autism, who men over 40 just go and get checked for prostate cancer, and making sure that we keep dads in the game.
Well, it does not surprise me if we've gotten to talk with you over the period of time, both online and personally, that not only would you do it and find a way to make it look good, but there's really a good reason behind that. Love it in terms of that. With that being said, Deuce has his final exam tomorrow. Him and his best friend Miles. We're heading out Thursday, and we can't wait to get there, as they are super excited to see SWAC baseball, particularly Bethune-Cookman.
Absolutely.
He has made his statement. He does a little show, and he's putting the pressure on y'all. He said y'all will get it done.
Perfect. Well, just know, let Deuce know that anytime he wants to talk to me, Doc, with our relationship, it's an open door. So I'm looking forward to seeing Deuce, and I got Jake with me too. There you go.
Looking forward to interviews and all that stuff. We'll be out there. We're excited. Can't wait to get on the plane and get out there. He has a little business to take care of tomorrow morning, and then before you know it, it'll be time to get on the plane.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys this week. AD, I'll see you here in Birmingham. Doc, I'll see you, and Charles, I'll see you around as well. Thank you guys for everything. Appreciate it.
Like I said, I celebrate everything, Coach. I know y'all coaches, y'all be like, well, that's behind us. You just never know, as you said, regular season, tournaments. Heck, I even used to celebrate A's on the grade, you know what I'm saying? One semester, get to go see team. So I'm just doing one for yourself. I know you wait till later or whatever.
Yep.
But we are already getting the championship out there. So
congratulations.
We're celebrating for the regular season back to back.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys around.
All right. I'll take our last break. We'll come back on the other side and finish out with some SWAC baseball talk.
Greetings, Panthers. My name is Roland Austin, and I'm one of the directors at the 1876 Athletic Foundation. The 1876 Athletic Foundation was Greetings, Panthers. My name is Roland Austin, and I'm one of the directors at the 1876 Athletic Foundation. The 1876 Athletic Foundation was formed to promote the success of all 343 student athletes. Our overall goal is to fund scholarships for all of our student athletes. We ask that you help us in achieving this goal by donating to the 1876 Athletic Foundation via the QR code below or 1876.foundation. Your generous donation will help us continue to assist the needs of all of our Panther athletes. Thanks, and go Panthers.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU image. A Kenny T's company.
What up, y'all? This is Dante Horn, starting guard for the Prairie View A&M 25-26 SWAC basketball champions. As an MVP and a champion, when I'm not studying, practicing, or hanging with family and friends, I take the time out to catch up on my HBCU highlights by watching Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they want a loss, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Well, for this last segment, guys, it's time to get into it as we get into this SWAC baseball tournament. I want to get some of your final thoughts, some players to watch. Obviously, I'll put this out there when you talk about Southern's KJ White, Jr., 423 batting average. We talked about Michael Rodriguez, 410. And then right behind him is Chris Chavez with 394 in terms of top five, with number 4 being Tyree Reed at 385 and Rylan Dutson 384 for Prairie View. Will not be in the tournament, but the top 4 will get a shot and show off. In terms of home runs, you got to watch out for Trey Calloway with 15, Andre Martinez, Jose Fernandez 2 and 4 at 14 and 11. And then again, another Hornet is Jackson Williams with 12, and then Cameron Hill with 10, bringing in the top 5. Charles has told you about Cameron Hill to keep your eye on him. It'll be fascinating. We talked about that matchup. So those are things you want to look at. And then you have Southern that will get it done on the base pads with Jacoby Ratcliffe with 35, KJ White Jr. not only batting for average, above average, but he also, once he gets on, he'll take a base and swipe 1 or 2 from you with 30. Canisius Davis with 22. Obviously, Alcorn did not make the tournament along with Rayfield Adams III with 20. So we'll miss those 2 guys, but you do have Sergi Rivera with 21 talking about the offensive side of the ball. So I'm going to go with you first, Charles. What are some things that we need to keep our eyes out in terms of the tournament? Looking at some of these key players, teams in the past, history, great coaches, and then there's something just about baseball. You just don't know who's going to capture a little bit of the magic this year in your eyes, Charles.
Yeah, who can keep your head when all about your losing theirs? That always plays true when you're talking about baseball. And sometimes you just learn things from talking to Coach Cato. One error can't become 2 errors. Was one thing that really stuck out with me, that he used to say, one bad play can't turn into 2 bad plays. So it's things like that. And every year, Dr. Cavil, we see in this tournament that there is a pitcher who comes in with this ballooned ERA, who all of a sudden shuts things down for 3 or 4 innings and holds things close enough to where you can make it run. And that is something that I look forward to every year. Who is the unsung hero? Who is the 7, 8, or 9 hitter who gets that double that you just didn't see and brought in 2 runs, or who had that great tournament? Looking up and down, we see every year gaudy statistics from players who come in year out, and the stars will be stars, but it's always going to be, for me, that 7, 8, 9 hitter, or that reliever that has a 12 ERA, that all of a sudden you didn't see him come in and throw 3 great innings where he was throwing strikes and kept his team in the game. We saw it with Grambling. We saw it with Bethune. We saw what Alabama said. And it's weird how it happens every year that an unsung hero steps up. So those are the things that I'm looking for going into this tournament. We know about Bethune-Cookman, but Southern is so scary in that they just remind me of the old Southern Jackson State teams that once they get on base, all hell can break loose. So they put the ball in play, and you got that speed, you got that athleticism. People start throwing the ball all over the place, and those are the things that you kind of keep in mind.
Let me follow up you with a quick one before I go to 80 Drew to close us out on a couple of questions. Who in your mind that may fall early, but then could make a run deep in the tournament, even if they get a hiccup early in the tournament with a loss?
Although they come in down, but Texas Southern, they have the ability that they can put things together. Their top 6 hitters are as good as anybody in this tournament. And even if they stumble early, if they can somehow get that batting order up and going, they could be a trouble for teams because they hit the ball as well as anybody in this tournament.
Good stuff. 80, before I go to you, let me give you this. With wins, you have Edwin Sanchez with 11, Johan LeBoy with 8, Bobby Spencer also with 8, and you have Miles Demute with 7, and Derek Ochoa with 7. ERA, Edwin Sanchez with 2.69. We talked about pitcher of the year there. James Peterson of Alabama State with 3.52. Justin Mays there with 3.72. Isaac Herrera 4.10. Again, Prairie View didn't make the tournament. For Harvest Abreu with 4.45. Strikeouts, Caleb Granger, we've always seen him at the top there. He has 83. Jaden Lopez, though, with 80. And Derek Arocha back in there with 79. Justin Mays with 75. And Bobby Spencer with 73. So you will see all 5 of those top 5 pitchers in the tournament. What are your thoughts? What are you interested in your thoughts or watch outs for those that are going to be watching early at the game, or certainly those watching from SWAC TV?
Before I do that, Dr. Cavil, I want to get a trivia question and want the people in the chats to answer before you guys answer it, and before I give the answer. Which team that is in this year's postseason SWAC baseball tournament has never won a SWAC championship?
Ooh,
Once again, which team
has
not won a SWAC baseball championship? I want to see if people in the chats know this.
Yeah,
I know you two probably know it, but I want to see if the people in the chats know it. And the reason I'm bringing this up, I will say this: it is not Jackson State. I will let everybody know that. And it's surprising when I look at this and realize it's been 2014 since Jackson State has won a baseball championship.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Absolutely.
When you think about it, with the history of Jackson State and the Jackson State Southern, either or for all those years, to think that it has been that long since Jackson State has been on the top, and they come into this tournament as one of the bottom seeds, having basically to win the series the last weekend to not be the number 8 seed in this particular tournament. That's why I bring that up, Dr. Cavil. The other question you asked Charles: whoever loses the Grambling State Alabama State series, watch out for them on the rebound. Same thing is I think that's gonna be the one that's going to be the of a day one loser. That's going to probably be the most dangerous team to be able to come back and rebound in the tournament. The Grambling State, Alabama State loser.
Good stuff. So we start game one tomorrow. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, one thing is, what do these coaches do with their pitching? Once upon a time, Dr. Cavil, there was a time where if you're the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed, you did not have to throw to your ace.
I remember those days. Yep.
Now, what do you do with your ace? Because I'm pretty sure everybody's Friday starter is going to pitch tomorrow. But now the question becomes, how long does that Friday starter stay in? Because you want to be able to bring him back in this tournament and for him to be effective. So that's one interesting dynamic. And the other dynamic, Dr. Cavil, is weather. We saw it in the SIAC baseball tournament. We saw it in the SIAC softball tournament. We even saw it in the SWAC softball tournament. Weather will be a factor this week in Birmingham also, if you have looked at the weather forecast.
Yeah.
So how will weather affect pitching? Will a rain out allows a team to reset their pitching, or on the flip side, will it force them deeper into the bullpen because they're having to make up games in a shorter time span
That's a good
because you
one too.
get behind. That's one thing. That's one unknown that we are going to have this week. Besides figuring out who's that 189 hitter who comes in as a pinch hitter, Charles, and gets you that key RBI
Yeah.
along with your 11.7 ERA pitcher.
Good stuff. So Wednesday, we start out tomorrow. Game 1 is number 3 FAMU versus number 6 Texas Southern. That's expected to start at 9 a.m. Game 2 is number 4 Alabama State, number 5 Grambling State at noon. AD Drew just talked about that. Game 3 is number 2 Southern versus number 7 Jackson State, one of the best rivalries in the conference in any sport, but even more so for baseball. Charles gave you a little thought about that. Game 4 is number 1 Bethune-Cookman against number 8 Arkansas Pine Bluff. You want to give your answer, AD Drew?
Yeah, and that is your winner of my trivia question. If you guess Arkansas Pine Bluff, they have never won a SWAC baseball championship. One other thing, note that they scheduled, Dr. Cavil.
Yes.
I thought we went away from the East-West format. Oh, my bad. It just happened to fall like that.
It just happened to fall like that, right?
I was going to bring that up, so I'm glad you do. Shout out to Emmett Jones, UAPB, and Edward Moore. They got UAPB. I'm not going to say anything about Fire in terms of his answer. I'll leave that there. Thursday will be game 5, loser game 1 versus loser game 3, 9 a.m. Game 6 is loser. Game 2 versus loser game 4. And game 7 is winner of game 1 versus winner of game 3. Game 8 is winner of game 2 versus winner of game 4. I won't list the rest. You can see it there, but wanted to give you a little insight early. But thank you for listening inside the HBCU Sports Lab.
Before you go, last thing on baseball, please, if you want a comprehensive breakdown of what to look for on this baseball tournament, please go to Black College Nines and see the article that I released today on Black College Nines. It gives you everything that you need to follow this tournament.
Yeah, very comprehensive.
That was going to be my cheat notes for Thursday if we do the show. I wanted to save it and just kind of touch on some other things since we'll be all SWAC by then. But gives people a chance to go into it for these first games tomorrow. So I'm glad you brought that up. Again, that's Black College Nines. It is extensive, a really good breakdown. So go give some clicks, if you would, since a lot of people are into it. Make sure you share the love with Black College Nines, specifically for AD Drew. They also had the voting poll rankings. I'm voting in that. Charles voting in that, as well as AD Drew. They came out for Black College 9, so you can see where people sit over there as well for those rankings. With that being said, thank you for listening inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. I am Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, the Dean of HBCU Sports, coming from inside the lab in the College of HBCU Sports with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop, AD Drew. Again, we want to thank you for listening to Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 o'clock. We do plan to give you something 6 o'clock. Thank you, my JBN Online, for putting the link there in terms of that. Oh, good. Oh, putting that up there, making sure folks go check that out. With that being said, there you go, Edwin. Go ahead and get it started. Again, we want to thank you for listening to Dr. Bill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop every Tuesday and Thursday. Again, check with us. We'll try to give you a show on Thursday. It should be around 6, might be a little later, depending on when we can get set up, whether we can get Charles sneaking in there early or not. We may push it to Friday to make sure he's in town. Show just seems to do better when Charles on it. Certainly got to wait till Magic Man 80.
We had Deuce and Miles. We'd be all right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they pretty good. Pretty good. We might do a teaser with them. Good job. We look forward to next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab, I should say, on Thursday or Friday again. Follow me, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, on Threads, Facebook, and Instagram. That's DrKenyattaCavil. If we can't give you one, you know we'll give you something in terms of championship Sunday in terms of that matchup. We will do something then. Dream big, continue to move forward as we look, as we will talk with you soon. Charles?
Of course.
AD?
Lecture.
Dismiss.